Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of this month's episode of Gunpla News. This is episode 8 for July 2015. In the first part, we talked about news, about kind of some stuff related to me and my channel and some other Gunpla related news. And this part, we're going to be talking about some kit and figure announcements for this month. Not a whole lot, but some pretty cool, exciting ones, I think. And then the next third part, we're going to be talking about some updates for kits and figures that have previously been announced. There's quite a lot of those, so that part should be pretty long. And then the fourth part is talking about some third-party kits, some news and updates on those. And then the last part, part 5, is going to be about some featured kits. So we've got some pretty cool features this month. I would definitely recommend checking that part out. If you want to watch all 5 parts, they're available on my channel as a playlist. Or if there's only some certain parts that you want to watch, you can watch them separately if you want. If you're already doing that, let's keep on going with it. This is the kit and figure announcements. So the first thing, and probably the biggest announcement this month, is that the Perfect Grade Banshee Norn has been announced. We were all expecting some variation of the Perfect Grade Unicorn to be coming out at some point. The question was which variation, and is it going to be a normal release or a premium Bandai release? Well, apparently Bandai was feeling kind and decided to make it a standard release, but it's going to be the Banshee Norn. I think a lot of people were hoping for the standard Banshee with the original weapons on its arms, the armed armor VN and BS. I agree. I think that would have been cooler, better, I think. Is cooler a word? Anyway, it's going to be the Banshee Norn, so it's just basically the Unicorn Gundam with the different parts for the collar and head, the V-fan, and then it's got the armed armor on the backpack and the armed armor DE booster shield. So basically just a few parts added. Well, I'm sure it's going to be more than a few. It is Perfect Grade, but it's just got some stuff added on it, and then of course it's in the Banshee colors. So a lot of stuff we don't really know about it yet. I mean, it has been announced, and it is going to be coming out soon in September for the price of 22,000 yen, so a little bit more expensive than the Unicorn, I believe, for that list price. But of course, it is coming with a little bit more in there. There's a few questions still yet unanswered. We do know that it is going to have the orange Psycho frame in it this time, but we don't know if they're going to release another version of the LED set, or if just the one LED set is going to be able to be used with both of them. We don't know about that yet. It's possible that could be a Premium Bandai release. Other possibilities for Premium Bandai expansions could be that the Armed Armor VN and BS for the regular Banshee, the parts to make those could be released as a Premium Bandai set. For example, with the Perfect Grade Unicorn, we had the full armor parts set released separately. For this, we could have the original Banshee parts released separately as well. Another option that I think Bandai could do, if they wanted to make some pretty simple money, I think, is to make a Premium Bandai release of just the green Psycho frame. So if they just made just the Psycho frame runners in the green color, those could be used with the original Unicorn or the Banshee if they wanted to make the final battle version for either of those. That would be a pretty cool set because it would be able to be used with both. If they're going to do that, I think probably unlikely, but it is possible, and I think would be something that would be pretty cool and better than releasing the whole kit with a green inner frame. I think people would be it would be much easier to sell people on like maybe it would probably be like $30 or $40, still pretty expensive, but like a $30 or $40 set of just the Psycho frame runners rather than spending another $200 to buy the whole kit again. Would be better for business, but I don't know. I don't work at Bandai, and some business decisions of Bandai don't really make much sense to me anyway, so I don't know. That's just what I think. Anyway, it is really cool. I'm really excited about that. I am planning on probably getting it at some point. I'm not sure. As some of you guys probably know, I have the Perfect Grade Unicorn that I haven't even touched yet. I unboxed it like months ago when I first got it. I haven't touched it yet, only because I'm waiting to get the full armor parts set. A friend of mine in Japan has it for me, and he just hasn't sent it to me yet, but hopefully he should be sending it soon, because I want to be able to build all of that at once, the Unicorn with the LED set, with the full armor set all together, and just kind of do a couple of videos all about those together. Anyway, that's beside the point. The Perfect Grade Banshee Norn is coming out. That's cool. I hope people are excited for that. I am. Next, there's a few premium Bandai kits that were announced that we need to talk about. The first one is the RG Zigong mass production version. This again is something that I think people were hoping would be a standard release similar to the RG Zaku 2 that had the mass production green version and the red pink Char's custom version. Both got a standard release. I think after the Char's custom Zigong, people were hoping the blue mass production type would also be another standard release, but it looks like it's not. They're just doing it as p-bandai. But again, if this is something that you want, all it is a color swap, so you just have to just repaint it, just buy the Char's version and repaint it. But it's up to you. If you don't paint, this is definitely a good kit for you if you want a blue Zigong. Anyway, this is going to be out pretty soon in August for 2,700 yen, so not too expensive, just slightly more expensive than the original release, so not too bad. Then next is another color swap, is the premium Bandai HGC Silver Bullet Gael-chan Custom. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I didn't check the katakana, so I could be wrong on that. But anyway, this is mostly a color swap. It will have a few new parts for the head. The Gundam version of the head is slightly different. Of course, it is going to have parts to make the a GM or the standard like mass production type head as well, just like the original Silver Bullet. But yeah, aside from the new head and color swap, it's basically almost the same kit. So again, this is basically just for Silver Bullet or Unicorn Gundam fans of that line. I personally am a huge fan of that kit. That's one of my favorite kits, the HGC Silver Bullet. So this is something I'm thinking about getting. It's out in September for 2,400 yen, so not too expensive. That's still only around 20 bucks, so not too bad. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I do want to get another Silver Bullet, so it wouldn't be bad to get that one, I guess. Then I'd have a different head for it. Then the last premium Bandai kit is another kind of surprising one, is the HGRC G Self reflector pack. So it's basically just the original G Self kit with the new reflector pack and of course new colors. New colors do look cool, and the reflector pack looks pretty nice, although it looks very not articulated. It looks like basically the parts they have to hold those reflector parts are just not articulated at all, so they're just flat in that position. A little bit boring, but if that's something you really wanted, then it's kind of nice that they're making that. It's going to be out in September for 2,200 yen. 2,200 yen is a lot cheaper than the price for the figure version that's going to be coming out, the Robot Damashi version. That's of course much more expensive, although it does look a little bit nicer than the kit, possibly. But and the other thing about that is that those reflector parts for the backpack look like they'd be pretty simple to make out of just plot plate if you wanted to. So again, that's just something that if you're a big fan of the series, a big fan of the G Self, it'd be a cool kit to release. I wasn't really even expecting them to make that kit, so that's pretty cool they are. And it just makes you wonder if there's a possibility that the Torque pack or the Tricky pack could be released as premium Bandai kits, or maybe just full-on kits later as well. Maybe they're not finished with the G Self HG kits. I don't know. Next, moving into some Gundam Converge stuff, we have the Converge EX07 GP03 Dendrobium out in November for 3,200 yen. So a little bit pricey, but this is really cool that they're finally making the Dendrobium in a Converge kit. I really enjoyed my Converge Hummingbird and Converge Deep Striker, so I think this is like a big kind of mobile armor Converge figure that I might want to add to my collection. Definitely looks really cool. It's definitely the coolest looking Converge figure or Gundam with a unibrow that I've ever seen. It's got the unibrow thing there. No offense to people with unibrows. And it can stand on the Dendrobium, which is really cool. That's probably the pose that I would go for if I got this. With the figure just standing, holding the bazookas standing on the front of the Dendrobium unit. Looks really cool. I'm definitely considering buying that. I just haven't exactly made up my mind yet because it is a little bit pricey, but I do like those figures. It comes with a load of stuff too, almost too much stuff. I would have a hard time choosing exactly how I'd want to display it, but it does have plenty of options for those of you who like to have options. Next is the Armor Girls Project MS Girl Gundam Mark II. No price or release date for this, but the cool thing about this is that it has a Barzam mode, so it has the parts to change the Mark II into the Barzam if you want. just basically swapping a few parts. It looks really cool. I think if you're a fan of those, if I found that for like really cheap, I might pick one up, but it's just not something that I'd want to spend the amount of money on for those being pretty expensive. But I know there are people out there who like those, so, and that does look really nice. So if you're interested, that is coming out sometime in a to be announced future. Then one more kit released so far, one more kit announced so far for the Build Fighters series is the HG Build Fighters Kamiki Burning Gundam. Maybe I need to catch my breath. I'm having trouble talking now, but the HGBF Kamiki Burning Gundam is something that maybe some people were hoping for and wanting. I personally was not really. I mean, it was in about half of one episode of the series, and I didn't really like it all that much anyway, but it's coming out in September for 1,800 yen. I personally think the kit looks horribly ugly, but that's just me. I think there are probably a lot of people though that are in agreement with me though, because I don't know, it just doesn't look good at all. I don't know, just the design of it. It does have some new effect parts for the back, and again, I'm trying to hold my judgment on those as well till we actually see a completed kit. Right now, we're just seeing the production kind of prototype, so it's hard to tell. But for right now, the new effect parts look like some flame spiderweb out the back. It doesn't look cool at all, in my opinion. But I don't know. When we see it like actually done later, I might change my mind. But for now, that's not looking interesting at all. Then we have some HG Build Custom parts sets coming out, or one part set coming out is the Zigong Build Knuckleskaku Set. It's basically just a set of action hands. This is coming out very soon in July for 600 yen. And the cool thing about this is that it comes with 3 different sets of the hands. So it has the set of hands in a small size, medium size, and large size. And that's basically to cover the range of 1/144 scale Gundams or mobile suits, because even in 1/144 scale there's quite a difference between something, for example, like the new Gundam, which would be quite large, or the Victory Gundam, which would be quite small. So it's just nice that you have the option and you have 3 different sets of hands, so you could, if you buy that set, you could use those action hands with a few different kits if you wanted, so that is pretty cool. Then next there's the SD Gundam X Standard, which is a new line of SD kits I talked about last month, and the first 2 kits for that, we're seeing some more about them. They're going to be the RX-78-2 Gundam and the AL Strike Gundam. Again, no prices or release dates set for these yet. The release date shouldn't be too long, I think. And the prices, I'd expect them to be slightly more expensive than the standard SD kit, I guess, because I think what they're going for with this series is trying to improve the articulation, as well as some of the details maybe, and the compatibility with some HG 1/144 scale kits to make it so that like some of the weapons and accessories are able to be used on some HG kits as well. So I guess that's what they're going for with the series, and they do look pretty nice. I'm still not personally a fan of SD kits, but if you are, I think those are going to be some pretty awesome releases for you guys. Then next there's some, the last bit of announcements is just some stuff about Gashapon series, actually. And the first one is that the Gundam Gashapon Senshi Dash series, so it's a new series of Gundam Gashapon Dash, Senshi Dash, is going to be starting, and the first set of that series is on sale now, so I think it was maybe just recently started. That they're on sale for 200 yen each. Those are including the RX-78-2 Gundam, Char's Zaku 2, the God Gundam, the Master Gundam, and the Full Armor Gundam Mark II. So those are pretty cool. If you like Gundam Gashapon, you can search those out and try to get your hands on those. Should be pretty cool. Then from Premium Bandai, they're doing a Gashapon Senshi Dash Premium Series 1. So these are going to be like a premium series that go along or are related to the first series. These are, according to Gundam Guide, these are 300 yen each, but I'm not sure if that's exactly right, because these are including the first one is the God Gundam Hyper Mode, the Nobel Gundam, the Devil Gundam, and then On Gundam Guide, these weren't listed on there, but these are also pictured. The Fun Psyche is also pictured there, as well as the Devil Gundam head. So I don't know if those are going to be separate as well. So there's actually 5, because the normal series had 5. So I think it would make sense that the premium series has 5 different ones as well. The God Gundam in Hyper Mode, the Nobel Gundam, the Devil Gundam, Fun Psyche, and the Devil Head, or maybe 5 different ones. I also can't believe that 300 yen is the right price for those. Maybe the Nobel Gundam and God Gundam in Hyper Mode, but just because that's kind of gold, and just the fact that these are p-bandai, for them to only be just 100 yen more than the standard one, and only 300 yen each, that seems way too low for this. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. Especially the Devil Gundam as well, is like twice the size. So I think that price is not quite right. I think if those are something you're interested in getting, you might want to just search around and do your research on those. I'm sorry, I can't tell you guys the actual price for those. You'll have to check on that yourself if you're interested. I was personally not interested enough to actually go and check that out for you guys, sorry. But then the last thing is the Gashapon Senshi Dash Series 2 is going to be starting from August, and these, again, according to Gundam Guy, are 300 yen each, which is more believable, I think, is probably correct. These are including the new Gundam, the Sazabi, the Crossbone Gundam X2, and the Crossbone Gundam X3, and then a mystery unit. But in the pictures it shows here, it's some sort of Musha Gundam. I'm not sure exactly which one that is, but I'm guessing that's the mystery unit. It's not really much of a mystery if we've got a picture for it. So again, not totally sure about Gundam Guy's info on this stuff. Sorry about that, you guys. But again, if it's something you're interested, just do a bit of Googling. I'm sure you can find out something more about that, or maybe ask me and I'll try to find out more, but otherwise I don't really know. That is going to be it for all the news. There wasn't a whole lot this time, thankfully, but there is a lot in the updates. So I'm going to try to blast through those as fast as possible. I'm not going to really talk about some of those, especially ones that have been announced for a while, that I basically talked about like 5 times already. That's it for this part. I'll see you guys in the next part, part 3. We'll be talking about kit and figure updates. See you then.